Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. How are you all? This is Marivir Montebon, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. And hi, Grace. Kumusta? Happy New Year. Mwah, mwah, mwah,
Hi,
mwah.
Marivi. And hello
Kumusta ka
to our
dyan?
viewers on YouTube and Facebook. Happy New Year. Finally, it is the new year, 2021 na.
Finally. And we are
Yes, here we
live
go.
again.
Yes, and it's our first episode for the year.
Yes, it's thank God we are here. Now move na
Mm-hmm.
tayo away from 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully things will be better for us,
Hopefully,
for
yes,
you and
yes.
me and for the whole world, right, Grace? So,
Yes, yes,
kamusta naman
that's
ang
true.
New Year mo? Did you eat pancit? Our tradition for long life?
Yes, yes, hindi pwede mawala yung pancit on the table.
I
Yeah,
know, I
that's
ate
our
spaghetti too. So, ano
favorite
pa rin?
dish. Uh-huh.
Yeah, for long life yung
Yes,
tradition natin. Well, I had
yes.
spaghetti. Oh my
How
goodness.
about you? How's the second day of how was the first 2 days of 2021 for you?
Okay naman, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I woke up this morning na masyadong makapal ang fog. It was so foggy.
Ay, talaga. I haven't been
Oo.
out, so
Yeah, but overall maganda naman ang
mhm.
weather, so thank God. So meron
That's
pa
good.
yatang balita para sa atin, 'di ba? Before we move to our topic
Oh,
tonight,
yes, yes,
which is
yes,
very
yes.
relevant. Ano naman ang
Yeah.
sasabihin mo?
Yes, before we start,
Mhm,
I want to share this important announcement from the Philippine Consulate. So, to all our
mhm,
kababayans traveling to the Philippines from the United States, please be advised that effective January 3, you will be allowed to enter the country, but you will be required to undergo an absolute facility based 14-day quarantine period, even though you have been tested negative with COVID 19. So, if you have travel plans, please reconsider because, as you know, we have limited quarantine facilities. Also, foreign nationals are prohibited from entering the country from January 3rd to January 15th. So, for more information, please visit the New York Philippine Consulate Facebook page. So, if you have friends and relatives, Marivir,
mhm.
who's traveling, mahirap because, 14 days is a long time to be quarantined in the Philippines, di ba?
Mhm, right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
ano lang 'yan, being cautious and being safe. I
Mm-hmm.
think that has something to do with the strain that has increased the
Yes,
virulence of the virus,
yes,
right?
it's the new
Coming
variant.
from
Mm-hmm.
London. So that's
It
sad
is
news.
now
There's sad news, huh?
in the US, kaya, they have to be quarantined when they visit our country.
Extra cautious
Mm-hmm.
lang. And now, speaking of those this kind of problems that we have, the pandemic, our topic is
Mm-hmm.
going to be about self-care, Grace, kasi we have to take care of ourselves para
Mm-hmm.
we are protected and we are more responsible about it and we are helping the others as well to survive in these very challenging times.
I agree. So living
Mhm.
through a global pandemic has been difficult for us.
I
It has
know.
been, it has been
Nakakatakot.
challenging in so many
Mhm.
ways.
Right.
And though
And
we're
so,
starting the new year, the fear of getting the virus remains. So now we will
correct.
have to continue to fight COVID-19 with self-care and the
Mhm.
vaccine. So
Right.
we have a guest today or tonight
Mhm. Mhm.
who will share with us her self-care tips.
Right. We're so happy
Mhm.
to have her. And so let's
Yes,
Tada!
let me introduce to her. I introduce her to our viewers.
Yes.
We have one of the active Filipino American community leaders based in New York, like I said, who will share with us her professional organizational experience and strong initiative and resourcefulness to give back to her community through her business, Aloe Dragon. Her invaluable experience with nonprofits is well applied in her strategic planning role as the chairman of the board and future executive director of the Philippine Community Centered Services for Aging, and in her role as current chief financial officer of Ford Dragon Global Inc. and the nursingoffice.com. Friends, let's welcome Ms. Nieva Burdick. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Tita Nieva.
Hi, Tita
Welcome.
Nieva. Good
Good
evening.
Hold
evening.
on.
Good evening.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you,
for
Tita
joining
Nieva.
us
Thank you
Hi.
tonight.
so much for joining us tonight. And it's
Hello.
good to
New
see you.
Year. Happy New Year.
How
You're
was your
looking great.
celebration? How was your celebration, Tita?
At home.
At home?
Yes, all of us celebrated
Only
the
the
New
two
Year at
of us,
home.
my husband and me, and that's about it.
Yeah.
We have to be, we have to take care of ourselves. We cannot be partying all the time. However, thank you so much for having me, Marivir and Grace, our
Yes. So tell us,
two community leaders. Awesome.
oh, Tita,
Thank you.
tell us about what it means to take care of ourselves. What is self-care and how do we go about it?
Okay. Since I've been involved with this organization, I'm gonna dwell more on the immune system.
Okay.
Is because we are on this COVID time. So, is your immune system strong enough, or is it weakened by stress, colds, tummy troubles, infection, and tired all the time?
Mm-hmm.
The immune system is a complex network of cells and proteins that defends the body against infection. The infection keeps a record of every microbes it has ever infected us. So when another microbes enter, it remembers it. Okay, so now I will introduce to you four products. These are only supplemental to help you out. It's not a guarantee to make you well, but it's a supplement. Okay, it's not a medicine. So the first one will be the Forever Active Probi. Here it is. Okay,
Mm.
I don't know
Oh,
if you can
see.
see it.
You have a picture of it, Marivir?
No, we don't have.
No?
But Tita,
Okay,
you can focus it straight into the camera.
it's very okay.
Do this, Tita.
How? What? I don't see. I
Behind your
don't see
palm.
very well.
Behind your palm. With
Okay,
your product.
okay.
Yan.
What I'm gonna do is like this. Um, where's a notebook? Okay, I know already what you mean. Okay, it will be like, oh no, it cannot be. However, okay, it's called Forever
Forever
Active Probi.
Pro B.
Yeah, it promotes healthy digestive system. It
Uh-huh.
has contains prebiotic fiber that helps to nourish and able to bypass standard what's this now, acid for optimal delivery in the intestine. So that's a one item that I have, but
Nourish.
this can be absorbed provided you have what we call our king or queen of the company, which is aloe vera forever. Forever aloe vera gel. Okay, this one you can see it right there.
Yes.
Okay, so the aloe vera gel is rich in vitamins and
Mm-hmm.
minerals, amino acids that build your body's neutral defenses. So with the combination of these two, it will help you absorb the minerals that you need, and also uh, the gel contains saponin. It's a natural cleanser in your body. It has also enzyme and lignin, which is a penetrating agent. So therefore, when you drink this with the vitamins, it will penetrate to your body. It helps it. So
Mm-hmm.
now the third one will be what I call immune the immune system, the combination of, okay, my notebook. This immune blend. It's a combination of vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. So
Okay.
this is what Dr. Fauci is telling everybody, that you should have vitamin C and D. This is
Mm-hmm.
already it has in it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the fourth one will be what we need will be the vitamin C. The vitamin C fights free radicals. It benefits the skin and corrective tissues. It contains papaya, honey, and oat bran. Our oat bran, this is the only one in the market. It has a unique antioxidant that can score your body for free radicals. So that's the best one. And so I will give you the two other ones that we talk about also. Forever Garlic Thyme, and the other one is bee propolis. The bee propolis is all honey. And you know, when the bees are taking care of their queen, it has to be very clean. It has to be free of radicals, and so that it will be able to thrive. Because if it is dirty, it will kill everybody in the hives. So therefore, the propolis, when you take this out as a dietary supplement, it helps your system because it kills the radicals. And the garlic thymes, it helps your blood. So if you have high blood pressure, the garlic works on that. So therefore, those 6 items are good during this COVID time.
Wow. So are you taking all the 6, Tita, every day?
Yes. I do take, first thing in the morning, I drink the aloe vera gel, about 2 ounces, very little. And then after that, at 10 o'clock, I take the vitamins that I have, all the vitamins, so that when you take this in the morning and then you drink all your other vitamins, it really would absorb it. Without, this has a absorption chemistry. Plus, if the vitamin C is really very, very important as of now. So yeah, I take all these supplements.
Miss Nero, where can we get those products?
Okay, I have my website.
Okay.
It's aloe23dragon.flp.com. So when you sign up there, that's mine. And I can answer you via email or call you up, because there will be a question to join. It's free to join, and you can buy it directly. It doesn't have to come from my house. So the company will be the one to ship it to you. And they're in the business for 42 years. And the prices are reasonable. Once you get a certain stage, you can get 35%, 38%, 48% discount. So it's not very expensive. There's no pressure on anybody. It's, you buy only what you need if you want. If you don't want, that's fine. So that's why I'm very passionate about this. And whatever I make, I contributed to the Filipino Balaini Chari. That's in this, children really don't have anything. So one time, 2 times I went there, and we go to these small schools, and we give them books, notebooks, pencil. Just give them 1 notebook, 2 pencils, and ball pen. They are very, very happy. That's how poor they are. And by doing this, it really breaks your heart. And then I go also to another home for the aged there in Rojas City, where Connie was. And they have 10 10 senior citizens that they house there. And we donated mattresses, their vitamins. It's really, really how privileged we are here, so that and it's so nice to give back.
So, Tita Nia, aside from the Balay ni Chari,
Mhm.
are there any other
Balay ni Chari.
foundation that
Yeah.
you are any other foundation or organization
Yeah, I'm
that you are
supporting.
supporting, or the
Yes.
beneficiaries of
Yeah.
your
I'm supporting.
products?
Yeah. Some of them. Since I've been only very, very active this COVID time, so I've been donating it to some, in the community, so that they will feel how it is. I don't ask them to buy it now. I just ask them to use it. So
Mhm.
that's one way of testing. But it's been in the market for 43 years. So, it's in 160
It
countries.
has been tried
I
and
even
tested.
sent,
Mhm.
yes, and it has been in 160 countries. In the Philippines, I send a lot also. They have
So have you been
warehousing there. So,
starting this business in the US, Tita, or when way back pa in the Philippines?
no, I started here. I'm just
Mhm.
very active with Connie. Connie was the one who brought me there. So
I
I
see.
was I joined
There's
it.
a question from the audience, Tita.
Go
This
ahead.
is from Jobert Opulencia. Jobert, thank you for joining us tonight. Has these supplements been evaluated by the FDA, Tita?
Um, Evaluated by the FDA. No. It's In other countries they are FDA approved, but here
Mhm.
they are FDA approved as supplement, not as a medicine. It
Mhm.
is by FDA as supplement.
I see. So there you go,
It is.
Jobert. There's your answer. So any more questions from you, Grace?
No, no. Tita Nieva described all the products as very useful at this time.
Right. So I
Yes,
So,
have a
I know.
question, Tita.
mhm.
So at this time, to really boost our immune system, it's mandatory to have vitamin C, right?
Yeah,
Vitamin C and
yes.
zinc. I
Zinc.
mean, as far as, yeah, I
Yeah,
never
we
took
have
zinc,
one of that.
only now.
It's combination already.
Mm-hmm.
It's C, D, and zinc. It's called Forever Immu Blend.
Mm-hmm.
It's already the three are put together.
I
So
see.
you don't have to buy. It has a mushroom in it. They use
Mushroom.
the mushroom. Yes, they use
Mushroom
the
has
mushroom.
elements like they claim that
The
it's
shiitake and
anti-cancer.
yeah,
Yeah, I love mushrooms and it's very nutritious,
Yeah,
right?
sarap
Yeah.
siya.
yep.
It's
Sarap,
taste.
super. Oo. So
Oh,
again, Tita Nieva, inform our
Okay,
viewers where and how to get the products.
you can sign up on under my name. It's Alo, ALOE 23. That's something. It's significant to me. Aloe Dragon. I have two of my sons who are born Dragon time, so it's Aloe
Mhm.
23 Dragon at flp.com, and you will see my picture there. It's my face.
Oh wow.
it's
Okay.
It's
on
my
I will
page.
Facebook,
check it
right,
out. I
Tita?
will check it out,
Yeah.
Tita.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for enlightening us or giving us more information about the Forever Living products.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Tita,
please don't
and
leave us
please
yet.
stay
So,
on
yeah,
live.
stay safe.
Yes.
And Marivir, we're giving away 2 sets of Forever or Aloe Dragon products,
Aloe
right?
vera products
Yeah.
from, yes, Forever Living,
Aloe, yes,
courtesy of Tita Nieva.
Forever
So
Living.
stay tuned lang kayo
Mhm.
dyan, mga viewers.
Yes.
So,
Thank
and
you,
answer
Tita
our
Nieva, for your
questions. So
generosity.
we
Okay.
will have these in a few minutes. So Tita, just stay there, and thank you so
Yes.
much for your
Thank you so much from
very
two of you.
useful
Thank you.
information shared to
Okay.
us. Okay, so
Thank you again, Tita. Yes, Marivir, our next segment, it's going to
mhm,
be
moving on.
very informational,
Yes, very
timely.
relevant, very important. We are going to discuss
Mhm.
about people's reflection of COVID-19 last year. This is going to be kind of emotional and heavy.
Mhm.
And we
Yes.
have two important guests that will that will snowball the conversation, Grace.
Yes,
Yes,
we have two lovely and we consider them as shakers, movers and shakers
In
in
our
the film
community.
community. So,
Yes.
yes, let me introduce them to our viewers now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we introduce to you Dr. Laura Garcia, who is an associate professor at the College of Mount St. Vincent College of Nursing. She has taught in the various institutions, including New York University, Rory Mayers College of Nursing, Pace University, and Trinitas School of Nursing in New Jersey. Dr. Garcia actively participates in various film organizations and is currently the state chair for the National Federation of Filipino American Associations, or NAFA, in New York. She has also been active in professional organizations such as the Philippine Nurses Association of New Jersey. This year, the Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer also reappointed Dr. Garcia to the Community Board District Office. What a busy woman Laura is. Hi, Laura. Good evening and Happy New Year. Welcome
Hi,
to the show.
Laura. Welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for having us. And we will have another guest that we are going to introduce as well. So let's
Yes.
take it away, girl.
Another amazing lady is attorney Maria Elizabeth Cueva, who graduated in the University of the Philippines College of Law in 1992 and also earned her bachelor's degree major in political science cum laude at the UP Diliman. She pursued her master's degree in industrial and labor relations executive cohort program in Baruch College, where she graduated with honors. After her admission to the New York Bar in 1998, Elizabeth had worked in various state agencies such as the New York State Attorney General's Office, the New York State Department of Health, the New York State Department of Labor, and is currently assigned in the New York State Division of Human Rights. She has 20 years of legal experience in the field of higher education law, corporate law, labor and employment, immigration, and civil and human rights law. Friends, let's welcome Miss our attorney, Elizabeth Cueva. Good evening, attorney.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. Happy New Year.
Welcome and Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
I wish everyone, all the viewers and listeners out there, a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. And we're looking forward to this promising year 2021.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
So we begin our question
Finally.
with our nurse educator, Grace.
Yes.
Tell us about your COVID-19 reflections for 2019. How was it, and how did you survive it? Yes, Miss Laura, go ahead.
Laura, Dr. Laura.
Yes.
Did you mean 2020? But first of all, thank you so much for having me. And
2020, I mean. Sorry.
it's okay. And congratulations, ladies, for teaming up and coming up with such a clever idea and project about issues and inspirations. And this is really a great platform to get the PhilAms involved and talk about issues that matter and to send messages of inspiration. So, how has my year been as far as this pandemic is concerned, or the previous year, I should say? To say that the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic has changed the world would be an understatement. In less than a year since the virus appeared, it toppled and overturned people's lives across the globe. Everything has been impacted: how we work, how we communicate, how we live and interact with each other, and how we move around. And every aspect of our lives has been affected. So how has the pandemic changed my life? Here are some of my reflections of the year 2020. In the middle of the spring semester in 2020, that was in March, when the governor had ordered the lockdown, we then had to switch from clinical experience to virtual simulation. All of us had to attend virtual simulation, and we had to learn how to use Zoom. And we had to do
Have
it.
to learn to use Zoom. Yeah.
Yes. And we do everything virtually. We only attend meetings virtually, organizational meetings. Everything was virtual. And what else had happened at that time? Well, all of a sudden, I couldn't visit my daughter and her family in New Jersey due to the lockdown. And when I learned that my daughters, that was sometime in April when my daughter and my son in law were tested positive for COVID-19, I thought the world was crashing around me. And they have two children.
Mhm. Wow.
They were only 3 and 5 at that time. And so we had to rearrange our lives. We had to rewire our brains and think of what needs to be done. Who's going to take care of the children? Who's going to take care of them? But it is amazing that how they survived. And when we thought that everything was over, or when we thought that the worst was over, in September, my daughter's dad and my daughter's uncle, her dad's brother, were hospitalized for COVID or coronavirus in the Philippines. They both survived. That was the thing. They both survived the virus, but died of complications.
Oh.
So the year 2020 was probably one of the most painful and saddest years of our lives. My family and I had experienced. I am no stranger to pain, trials or tribulations, or even tragedy. But last year was the core of my being was being tested again. And I learned repeatedly that the challenges and trials don't necessarily break us. They give us strength and courage, and that's why I'm still standing before all of you, feeling that life. I'm not giving up on life, so we shouldn't. And other lessons that I've learned from the past year was, of course, compassion, tolerance, and resilience. And my priorities still remain the same: my children, my family, my career, and of course, my community service. So that's my experience from last year's pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, of course, but that's how my life was at that time. I hope it'll change this year for the better.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Laura.
Thanks for sharing
I'm sure
your
it's personally
experience.
hard for you, right? Actually, Grace, I wrote about
Mhm.
what Miss Laura Garcia went through when her daughter was um, sick with COVID and
Oh,
her husband.
I
So I
just
wrote
learned
about
about it
it. Yeah.
now. So I hope they're doing okay. And hopefully they are coping with, the emotional and, the negativities that happened
Yeah,
during those times.
yes, thank you. They are, and the worst was actually when, of course, her father, my daughter's father, died, and
Hmm.
the uncle, and the father, my father-in-law, whom I still call dad,
Hmm.
um, is now 94 years old, and he survived the two children, and
Yes.
now he was actually the strongest among all of us, and he said that, well, it's God's will, and so I think we got the strength from him and my daughter and the rest of the family.
That's good to
Condolences on
know.
that too. I'm sorry. And of
Yes.
course, if I may share, Laura, you are referring to Cebu Governor Garcia.
Yes.
Yes, the grand old man.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's the
Condolences.
father-in-law. Oh,
Yes.
that's
Uh-huh.
okay. I think I've read
Uh,
about that. My
yes.
condolences.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, but we move on
Yes.
because life goes on and we get better despite the pain. And so now let's hear from attorney Elizabeth Cueva on her reflections and how COVID-19 had impacted her personally and professionally as well. Please,
Mhm.
would be glad to hear from you, attorney.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you, Marivir and Grace, for this very laudable venture to reach out not only to the Filipino community, but to others who are interested and to find inspiration in the discussion of certain issues that are affecting us
Yes.
individually and as a community. And I think that this topic is a very apt topic to open this year, 2021, after all the trials and tribulations of the past year. And as they say, normal vision is 2020,
Yeah.
but we all know
Mhm.
in hindsight, the year 2020 is anything but normal.
I
It,
know.
is, it was very
Horrible.
surreal, trying,
Challenging.
challenging, painful, even jolting.
Mhm.
And personally, in my family, it has been bittersweet because
Mhm.
it hit close to home. We lost a dear cousin. Her name is Josefa Cruz Cueva, and she was a registered nurse in the emergency care section based in Miami. In Miami, she had already retired from nursing, but she responded to the call for volunteer nurses, and she was really gung ho doing it. But unfortunately, in May of last year, she succumbed to COVID. So that was quite a loss because she was looking forward to returning to her hometown in Samar. So with these, and my parents, they're both senior citizens. So personally, I had decided to stay with them for the duration of this pandemic so that I'll be able to assist them in their day to day living. But it also made me all the more cautious regarding my activities because I don't want to unduly expose them to
Mhm.
virus that I may catch, say, if I go outside. And it's a good thing at work they had done like remote working, so I only go to work twice a week, 3 times work from home. But in all of these cases where it's all the melding and blending of work life issues,
Mhm.
but you know what happened? It makes us realize how ephemeral life is, and that nothing is constant, and the only constant thing is change. And we have to take stock of things that we just take for granted. Like in the past, we would attend all these Filipino gatherings, and
Mhm.
we would just meet up randomly, watch movies, go to museums, sporting events, restaurants, attending church services, enjoying all the things that New York has to offer, which made it the most vibrant city in the world. But now it's all, like that. We can't do things spontaneously anymore. So, what's important in my introspection, and it's up for this topic, is we have to go within, go back to the basics: self care, taking care of ourselves, those who are near and dear, our nuclear families. And then from there, when we're strong, that's when we expand as human beings. We are forced to have to remain in solitude, but we can't do that. We also need to connect. So virtually, we're doing it. So interconnectedness is important, and those who are strong enough and with no comorbidities or no exposure, the relatives who have underlying conditions, then they can go out and also volunteer help services and also provide monetary contributions to these endeavors. So, yeah, and one other thing, while we think that COVID-19 is a great equalizer, it can affect anyone. Here in New York City, we have experienced that, it had heightened how disparately affected people are based on their socioeconomic status, their race, if their age and disability, access to healthcare, information, and resources. So, yeah, we have to take stock of all these things. So one thing that kind of like struck me, I'm going back when I meditate. I remember like the Hermetics law, as above, so below, as within, so is outside. Something to that effect. So, whatever, we have just to take care of ourselves and then follow the regulations and directives. We have to be compassionate and considerate of others. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Attorney, for your
Another reflection.
reflection and the things that you went through too. Thanks for sharing. That's really gripping as well, And so I'd like to proceed with this conversation among us here and also our audience. Oh, by the way, we have a reaction from Chef Carla. This is Ate Carla. She says, thank you for sharing, Laura. I want to give you a hug. You are a warrior. My prayers are with you and your family. God bless you. She is also from Cebu, so she knows the Garcias there. So thank you so much, Ate Carla. Now Grace, we will proceed
Yes,
with our
let's move on.
questions.
Now that the vaccine
the vaccine is
is
out, and
out,
this is
yes.
a new perspective for us. And so we would
Mhm.
like to ask Laura's idea and opinion, information about this, like how effective and necessary first. How necessary is it to have a vaccine at this point in time when it's been developed in less than a year? Tell us about what your thoughts are and your information is concerned, Laura.
Okay, I do believe in vaccine. Coming from the healthcare field, I do believe that vaccination significantly decreases the risk of getting sick from certain diseases. And you're right, in the United States, in 10 months' time, two vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna, were created, tested, and implemented with desirable efficacy rate of over 94.1 for Moderna, I believe, yes, and for Pfizer, 95%, which means it offers 95 to 95% protection against infection and no serious adverse effects. Or events. That is quite impressive. 95% offer significant protection against COVID-19 is better than nothing or no protection at all. We've been waiting for this. And vaccines are developed for a long time and in a complex process, and often lasting 5 to 10 years in some literatures, and or 10 to 15 years in other literatures. So we do know that it works. We've gotten our vaccines since we were little, right? I'm sure you received your vaccines as well. So I do believe in it. And by the way, much of the success of the vaccine relies on our cooperation and the continued cooperation of the public. And it is really very important that every eligible individual get vaccinated. Suggests that if you, by the way, and evidence also suggests that if you already tested positive for COVID-19, you have likely developed immunity or antibodies in your blood, which may provide some protection or some level of natural defense for you. But research still is being done both the United States and globally, to determine how long that immune response lasts. And also, there's a preliminary research that suggests that vaccines will give you better protection than having had the virus. So even if you've had the infection, if you've had been tested positive, I believe that you still need to get vaccinated. The CDC recommends that those who have had COVID-19 still get the vaccine.
I see. Can I ask a question already, Miss Laura?
Sure.
And so my question is, how have you been vaccinated? And if in case, also this question goes to Attorney Cueva, in case there are like adverse side effects, not just like simple side effects, can one question the company that has provided the vaccine? First, Miss Laura, and then Beth.
I haven't
Mhm.
been vaccinated yet with the COVID-19. I'm waiting for my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be too selfish and go for vaccination. We have to we have to give the vaccine to the hospital personnel first, the nurses, the doctors, and people who are in contact with individuals who may be infected or who are infected with the coronavirus. And also, who else are the first ones to receive are the long-term facility residents, so nursing home residents. And I believe we belong to the second. The teachers belong to the second group, and also I think Attorney Cueva belongs to the third group, or phase 1C and phase 1B.
I see.
I have a follow-up question to
Uh-huh.
to Dr. Laura.
Sure.
Okay. So after taking the two vaccines, the two shots of vaccines, what are the precautions after having the two shots of vaccines? Will life be normal again? Are we still going to wear our masks, socially distance ourselves, wash our hands? Will it totally eradicate the vaccine?
Well, let me answer the first question. Will life be normal again? Normal. We are now in what we call a different kind of normal.
Different normal.
A new normal. And if you mean normal, being back to no more masks and what have you, I cannot. Time will only tell. And but once you receive the vaccine, does not necessarily mean that you have to stop taking precautions. You have to stop wearing masks. No, you have to continue wearing masks. You have to continue washing your hands, continue social distancing, because we do know that the vaccines come in two phases. They give you the first dose, and they give you a second dose, and that is because to get the full effect of the vaccine, you have to take both. For Moderna, you have to wait 4 weeks, and for Pfizer, you have to wait 3 weeks to have the second vaccine. And also, to get the full effect of the vaccine, it takes a couple of weeks after you have gotten the vaccine. So you can still be infected before or after you get the vaccine. You still have to continue wearing masks, still have to wash your hands, and social distancing.
That's very important information, that we not be complacent, right?
No,
Exactly.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And so would like to
Hear
hear
from
from Attorney
attorney.
Cueva, Attorney Beck.
Okay. So, Marivir had a question, but
Mhm.
it kind of begs that we lay the foundation first before we go to that particular question. It's
Okay.
understandable that the public would have trepidation pertaining to vaccination of COVID-19 because they are under the perception that it was very quick when it was developed, and
Yeah.
the testing have been to uh, not as widely tested, but that's a perception that's made. But the
Mhm.
FDA had already approved for emergency use the use of the COVID-19 vaccine issued by Pfizer in New York, also BioNTech, and also Moderna. And as mentioned by Dr. Garcia, they have been seen as having efficacy of 95%, and even higher. So the question is, can employers require their workers to get vaccinated by COVID-19 as a condition to work? And we know that requiring this vaccine is a health and safety work rule. So generally, the answer is yes. But at this stage, federal government has not mandated that all people get vaccinated yet, and it's the state that is issuing the directives on which industries will be issued the vaccination to their particular workers. And the state had created an independent COVID-19 clinical advisory task force, and they identified these particular workers as those who will be first in tranche, as mentioned by Dr. Garcia, high-risk hospital workers, which include emergency room workers, ICU staff, pulmonary department unit staff, nursing home residents, nursing home staff, followed by all long-term and congregated care residents and staff, EMS workers, other healthcare workers, coroners, and medical examiners. And then staff at every hospital will have access to the first vaccine allocation. Then after this will then filter down to our other service industries. And Dr. Laura mentioned I belong to the what? Phase 1C. So while the vaccination is underway, it's important that we still follow the directives to wear masks, observe social and physical distancing, and also avoid, small or large gatherings in confined places. So, what can an employee refuse to take the vaccine? Under the law, there were three exceptions where a worker can refuse to take the vaccine, but it has to be, all these would have to be substantiated. Okay. The first one, say if the workforce is what we call unionized, so they have to go through a collective bargaining process that requires the negotiating with the union and agreement before, mandating a vaccine. Second one will be for health reasons, and under this, the worker can invoke the Americans with Disabilities Act, because this one limits the vaccine to those vaccines which are considered quote unquote job related, consistent with business necessity, or justified by a direct threat, and no broader or more intrusive than necessary. So this is the standard that has to be met when you're asking to be exempted from it. And then there's a process involved too. You have to ask for, you have to prove that you're able to perform the essential functions of your job with or without this, accommodation that you are requiring in lieu of the vaccination. And so you go through an interactive process for reasonable accommodations with the employer or the human resources. And then they weigh. If it poses like an undue burden, the employer is unduly burdened to have to exempt you from this vaccination, then the logical conclusion is if you don't want to be vaccinated, you may be terminated from work if there's no other reasonable accommodation that can be provided. Now, the third exemption that one can invoke is based on under the New York State discrimination laws. If there's a sincerely held belief or religious belief, then you can also say, okay, this is against my religion, and then you invoke Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. That's a potential way to opt out of it. But it's kind of like a gray area, and it needs to be heard either before administrative tribunals or the court. So third, so what happens? As you said, do you have another question after that? So as I said, the logical conclusion is if they refuse and it's mandated and it's proven that the reasonable accommodation, say I don't want to have it, I can work remotely, but say if you're a health care worker, there's no way that that person can work remotely. It's a direct service. Hospital can say, okay, this poses an undue burden to us, and it affects the essential requirements of your job. It's a bona fide occupational qualification that you'll be able to provide direct service to the patients. Then that's a ground for termination of the job.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Cueva. There's a question here, Grace, on Facebook. So this is
I'm not saying it.
You are not seeing it?
I'm not saying it. Sorry.
I also am not able to share it. It's so weird. Anyway,
Yes.
from Sylvia Hubila, who is from Texas, her question to Dr. Laura Garcia is, I'm scheduled for vaccination on January 8th. I'm 75 years old. Is it safe after first dose to go for doctor's visits and have some have some follow-ups, I suppose? What do you say to that, Dr. Garcia?
Yes, the vaccines are actually have been tested and tried, and although again, as I had mentioned, it was created within 10 months, and they go through rigorous process, and yes, it is safe. And at 75 years old, yes, you are required to, or you are eligible to get the vaccine or vaccinated at 75 years old, because you are at risk for being hospitalized and being infected with the vaccine. You actually belong to, I believe, the second phase of the to be vaccinated. The first phase being the phase 1A, the hospital personnel, doctors, nurses, and so on and so forth. And then I believe you belong to the second phase 1B. So yes, the answer is yes, and it's really important that you get vaccinated.
All right, thank you. And another
Okay. I have
question
a question.
from
Okay.
Joe Bird. Grace, let me ask
Yes.
this.
Yes, please.
This is for Dr. Garcia again.
It's
So,
really
do you
important
think
that you
everyone will be
get vaccinated.
vaccinated in 2021 when our population is 328.24 million, and so far only 2 million have been vaccinated? So, do you think 2021 will have a good coverage for the vaccines?
I believe our scientists, our healthcare professionals are doing the best they can to accommodate or to vaccinate as much people as they can. It is very important to get everybody vaccinated so that we can have what we call the herd immunity. Herd immunity is occurs when enough of the population is exposed to the virus through vaccination, and limit the ability of the virus to spread. So yes, we are trying the best we can, or our hospital systems, the healthcare systems are trying to do the best they can to get everybody vaccinated. Even our government officials are trying to push this through so that we can be vaccinated. I'm not sure if by 2021 we will all get vaccinated, but that is the aim.
Thank you so much. And
Okay.
Grace,
I have,
another,
yes.
you have a
I have,
question? Yeah, go ahead.
I
Ask
have
your
a question
first.
for Attorney Beth.
Mhm.
Well, if an employee experiences side effects after being vaccinated, can they sue?
Well, these cases of COVID-19, if there's a serious injury or you suffered serious side effects, you can only claim under what's called a workers' compensation program, and it can be treated as an on-the-job injury. But there are significant limits, though, or caps on the damages that an employee can recover through this. Right now, we have to note that what was issued to Pfizer and Moderna is not a license to sell. It's what we call emergency use authorization. So at this point, these companies cannot be sued for damages, and even, the employers, because they were mandated, if they were being mandated to provide a COVID vaccination. But what the government did was that under the Public Readiness and Emergency Preparedness Act, it established what's called the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program, which provides benefit to eligible individuals who suffer, there has to be serious injury from one of these protected companies. So there's, as I said, there's a cap for the compensation. It's like $50,000 per year in terms of unreimbursed lost wages and out-of-pocket medical expenses. But the claimant won't be able to cover any legal fees or anything in terms of compensation for pain and suffering. Now, in case of death, the death benefit is capped at around 370,376, which is given to the surviving family members who of those who received in the event the COVID vaccine proves to be fatal. So these there's a website for that. You can check PrEP, PREP Act, or CICP. This is kind of like this vaccine law is kind of difficult to navigate. As I'm saying, I have to do a legal disclaimer here. I'm not rendering legal advice. This is like general
Yeah.
information. So we're not establishing some sort of
Yes.
attorney-client privilege in this case.
Mhm.
So these
Right.
are like, basic information, legal information that's out there for those who are concerned about getting vaccinated and the possible ramification of having such vaccination.
Okay.
Yes, we
Thank
have
you,
another
attorney.
question
Welcome.
for you, attorney.
Mhm.
This is from Jobert Opulencia.
Yes.
Could you please comment on the news that came out about the before the COVID vaccine was out and made available to the U.S. medical workers and first responders? A firefighters union internal survey taken by members of the U.S. largest fire department shows that more than half say they would take the vaccine because there's a nationwide hesitancy to have the shot.
More than have
So
said that they will or will not.
they will not. They won't take the vaccine
Yeah.
because they're hesitant.
I
So
did.
how does this impact to public health and their employment?
As I mentioned, it's important because if this is a unionized group,
Mhm.
these are the fire workers that's mentioned. So
Yes,
it's a
fire
unionized
department.
group. So it has to go through the collective bargaining agreement in order
I
to
see.
require all these workers to, to mandate them to get vaccinated. So that's the course. Uh, yeah.
It's a BCK,
So the
right?
union can assert that the employees cannot be required.
Mhm.
So, and it can go from there. So it's all negotiation between the union and the governor's office. So
It could be sticky.
It is a process.
Their
Yeah.
effects. Sometimes they can be, if they refuse, I don't think they can. They can resort to other employment actions. So it's all up there.
Okay. Grace, you have any
Yes.
more questions?
Not at
Yeah.
this time.
Okay.
At this
Now
point,
we
yeah.
have a
Go
comment
ahead.
from Jan Andrada. She
Mhm.
says, "Thank you to Dr. Laura Garcia and Attorney Beth for that very informative sharing of information and insights." And she thanks us as well for the very informative
Oh,
show.
thank you, Jan,
Great.
for
Jan.
Thank you,
watching.
Jan. Thank you. Jan
Yeah,
is with
it is
NAFA
very, yeah, this is
with
very informative. Mhm.
right, right, and it's we are running 1 hour already, so we're over time once again. So at this
It's
point,
okay.
yeah. Well, are we going
This
to
is
have
very
some?
enlightening
Right.
because it's a very important issue for all of us, whether or not we have to take the vaccine. But we
Yeah.
have one more question for Dr. Laura. Um, a lot of people are still skeptical with taking the vaccine. What do you think the government or the medical field should do to convince the people that it is indeed safe to take?
Okay, that is a very, very good question. Excellent, in fact, because you are so right.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people who are hesitant to receive the vaccine because, first of all, it only took like 10 months to produce, to be
Mm-hmm.
tested, and now we are in the phase wherein we are given the vaccine. But again, there's the emergency, and as Attorney Cueva had mentioned, there's the emergency authorization EUA practice. EUA, Attorney Cueva, was that the EUA? That the CDC can actually authorize a vaccine, medications when there is a necessary. So desperate measures for desperate times.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it just because it's only a 10-month process of the of creating this vaccine does not necessarily mean that that's this less rigorous. It is still rigorous. So yes, they have been it has been tried, and so the risk of not getting the risk of not getting the vaccine outweighs the benefits of the vaccine. So it is safe. And for the question, how would you make people take the vaccine? How would you reassure them that it's safe? And you have mentioned authorities. You had mentioned the government. You had mentioned people who are who should also get these vaccines, and they are. In fact, I know of government officials, and I know of people who are serving our community, are taking the vaccine to show that it is safe. So government officials should take them. The people who are supposed to be taking care of our people, of the sick individuals, are taking them. Nurses are taking them. Doctors are receiving the vaccine. So a lot of people are getting the vaccine, and we are all educated consumers. There's a wealth of information out there that you can read to reassure you that the vaccine is really safe. You can read it from the internet, but I caution you to read it from a reputable resources, CDC, NIH, and for those who are pregnant, you can even read it in the ACOG, or the Association of ACOG, American Organization of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So you can. There's so many areas where you can read them, get these very reputable information. So there you go. We have people who are taking them: nurses, doctors, healthcare workers, or government officials. I will be taking them. So if that would reassure you that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Laura Garcia. So we will have to wrap up our discussion,
Oh, okay, that
our
fast.
conversation. But stay there, beautiful ladies, and we would like to thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will proceed with our exciting part, which is the gift
Yes, the
giving.
raffle. It's
The
the raffle
raffle.
time, the most
Raffle
exciting
time.
part of the show.
So has anyone prepared a question?
I think
So
Yeah.
our up for grabs is courtesy of Tita Nieva. This one here. So we
Oh,
have
what are those?
these
We have
are
3 items.
3 items. It's a aloe lips lip balm, and there's aloe vera tooth gel, and there's also aloe ever shield. It's a deodorant stick. So these are best sellers. That's going to be won by somebody who's able to answer our question.
Yes. Who's asking the question now? Is it Dr. Laura or
Do you have a question
Attorney
for
Beth?
the audience, Miss Laura or Tita Nieva? Nobody has a question.
Somebody wants a question?
Attorney, do you have a question? Let me try.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Doctor.
By taking all of the products mentioned by Ms. Burdick earlier, what is the benefit? What is the most important benefit? It will boost your
Blank.
Yes, blank. I know the answer. Can I win? Can I win the prize?
By using
Okay,
these
what-
products, you are
okay.
boosting your blank.
Telephone number. Where will they call?
Yes.
okay.
Can we flash it, Marivir?
Yeah, hold on. I'm so
Number?
excited. I get so excited that I will post the number that you
Okay.
have to call. So our
What
dear
will-
viewers,
Mhm.
call us at 917-858-2356 to win the prize of aloe vera products by Forever Living. So if you use these products, you are boosting your blank. It's 2 words. We can do charades.
Yay! Can I answer?
I hope somebody will
Can
call,
you answer it?
or else the prize will go to
Can we
Grace.
answer it?
I have a question. Before you can care for others, what's important?
Is
What is
What?
important before you can care for others?
Okay, that's the
that's the
second
other
question.
question. That's the second
That's
question.
another question.
That is your
Right.
yeah. The first question is
Okay.
been
Oh, there's
answered yet.
someone calling from
Okay.
California. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Hello.
I hope she's calling Issues and Inspiration.
Yes. Good evening. Hi. Yes, this is the Issues and Inspiration. Do you have an answer? That's correct. It will boost your immune
Yay.
system. Yes. All right. May I
Who
have
is
your name?
it?
Sylvia Huvilia.
From Sylvia.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
one of our
participation.
viewers. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Miss
Thank
Sylvia,
you,
for
Sylvia.
watching. and for participating in tonight's raffle. We'll send
Amazing.
we'll send your prize through mail. I'll call you later for more for more details. Thank you.
Awesome.
And congratulations. Happy New
Congratulations.
Year.
Great. Now, for the second question, let me
Thank you so
show.
much.
Let me show the.
All right. Thank
Hi.
you.
Here we go. Another set of self-care products from
Oh,
Forever
okay.
Living.
That
This
looks
is
interesting.
this is a hand sanitizer. They are all aloe based, Grace. This is
Mm-hmm.
aloe Ever Shield. Oh, it's the
Uh-huh.
deodorant, and the Bright Forever Bright. This is the gel. So this is good for your gums, I suppose, right, Tita Nieva? So
Oh,
the
it's a
Very good for the
toothpaste.
gums.
Is it a toothpaste?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
You will wake
okay.
up no bad breath for sure.
Oh, okay.
okay, that's very good.
That's good. Proven
No.
in
Okay, so the
That's-
question came from Attorney Cueva. What was the question?
Okay, someone is calling, but we don't have a question yet. Okay. Attorney Beth, okay, what is your question?
And if they're listening, before you can care for others, what should you do? What's important?
Yes. So, who should
I
you
know the
care
answer
for?
again. Can
Yeah, me too. Very nice. So,
So
who
before
should
you
you
care
care
for
for?
others,
You
okay,
should
go ahead,
care
Marie.
for your blank, right?
Okay.
One word. So,
What? 2 words.
who would answer that? Yeah, it could be 2 words. Depends on how
Yes.
we pose the question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Go
number
ahead,
to
call
call.
us 917-858-2356.
Right. Amazing.
Okay, before you take care of others, you should take care of your
Blank.
yes. Okay.
Very quick.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello. What is your answer?
Yes. Hello.
Self. Yes, that's correct.
Yay.
You should
Alright.
take care of yourself first before taking care of others. Yes. Okay. May I have your name? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. May I have your name?
Joe Wood.
Jobert.
Oh, Jobert.
Hello, Jobert. Thank you so much for joining.
Jobert Opalencia.
You're so cool.
Okay. You've been tuning in. Yeah. You're so fast. Okay, Jobert, you just want for yourself 3 products from Forever Living.
I think Jobert was the one who called even before the
Yes,
question was
yes,
asked.
I think so. All right. Okay. Talk to you later.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much, Jobert. It's fun.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
been watching from episode 1 in 2020, and now he's been one of
yeah.
our loyal viewers.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It has been a very enlightening discussion tonight.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia and Attorney Beth, and of course, Tita Nieva also for your participation and for guesting tonight. Thank you for
Right.
your time. We really
Thank you,
appreciate
and
it.
all the best, and hoping for a safe year for everyone. Before we close, Grace, I'd like to plug in something
Mhm.
that's going on in our community, in Queens particularly.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps you would want to take a visit at the Ilocano Center on Jamaica, because ongoing right now is a photo exhibit by photographer Carlos Esguerra. And in this
Mhm.
picture, he is with president of the Ilocano American Association,
Mhm.
and they are hosting the exhibit at the Ilocano Center. So this is until January 10. So those who are art enthusiasts, you can take a look and enjoy and perhaps buy, because portions of the sales will be sent to the Philippines for the victims of Typhoon Ulysses and Raleigh. So, but they are very careful. They only accept 10 people during weekends. So you make arrangements with IAAI through President Attorney Barangan, Dulce Barangan,
Mhm.
and you will have your chance to be able to visit the Ilocano Center in Jamaica.
Yeah, it's at the Ilocano Center, located in Jamaica, New York.
Yes, in Queens.
Okay, in Queens.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
about it. So, Grace, it's been a wonderful more over an hour with you as usual and with our guests. Thank you so much. I always enjoy, despite the tension that begins before the show. So it's always rewarding
Yes,
afterwards that we are able to
it worked out.
share,
Yeah.
yes, we're able to share our voices in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to have our narratives being put out there and inspiring the others.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, thank you, and
Thank you.
hope to see
Thank
you
you.
again in our next episode with more exciting prizes and information for everyone.
But
Right?
yeah, maybe Dr. Garcia and Attorney Beth would like to say something about the organization
Right,
before we
right.
go.
For
Mm-hmm.
parting
And
shot.
where they
Go ahead.
can be contacted.
What's going to happen in your organizations? Tell us
Mm-hmm.
about it, and so people will know and
Yeah.
perhaps participate.
NAFA or Nurses Association. Go ahead,
Uh,
Dr. Garcia.
Okay. So I am currently the state chair for the National Federation of Filipino American Associations of New York. In the interest of time, I would just like to invite people who are interested to join our organization to contact NAFA New York and log on to the www.nafa.org.com.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia and Attorney Beth.
Hello. So I'm a board member of the Filipino American Human Services Incorporated. It's called FASI, one of the oldest Filipino American nonprofit organizations here in the New York East Coast. And by January 19, we are going to be launching an art auction for the benefit of, we have to identify a charity, but we're trying to, we have in our inventory some very beautiful paintings and artwork from famous people. So I will be issuing an announcement later on. And also, I work as a human rights specialist with the New York State Division of Human Rights. So if anyone out there, you feel that you were discriminated against, especially because if you had COVID-19 and you were prevented from coming to work or in public accommodations places, you can file a discrimination claim based on that. And we have been prioritizing COVID-19 cases in the agency. So I wish you all well, good health and wellness in every aspect this year to 2021.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
lastly, Tito Nieva.
Oh, okay. So I'm very active also in the community. However, I been doing this forever because it gives me good health, and also it takes my time. At the same time, I would like to inform everybody how important it is to take care of ourselves. And we can, even though how good our diet is, supplements are very, very important because we cannot eat everything. It's not all in the food. So good luck, everybody, and we hope we'll be seeing each other again. All those events that we
For
have,
sure.
and do the fundraising.
Hopefully. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm also a member I'm the secretary of Lions as of now, and the PCCSA is inactive as of now. So that's why I joined that other organization wherein we do a lot of fundraising as well. We just recently sent some money for the children there, and since they need food, and when I was there, I donated 2 wheelchair, and the school, they don't have stage. It's a small community, small town, so they requested money from us, and we did. And even the mayor uses that stage, which we donated to be finished. So there are many things that's going on whenever we travel, to the Philippines and give services.
Mhm.
So that's where I am as of now.
Well,
Thank
more power
you.
to you, Tita, and thank you so
More
much.
power to our 3 ladies, and
Beautiful
hopefully we're able
ladies.
to share insights on
Yes,
important issues and inspire our viewers with the participation of these lovely ladies.
awesome. I will clap my hands.
Thank you.
so much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
And
Year.
with that, Grace, I would like to share
Yes,
our year ender.
our year ender. Okay,
And
that's exciting.
that's our way to say thank you to everyone, to those who helped us set up the show last year.
Mm-hmm.
And until now that we just started with this new year. So with this, thank you so much on behalf of my partner, Grace. Thank you. And we will play this video and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Let's watch.
Let's watch it.
Ah, just me.
I like that.
Oops. Yay!
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Bye bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye everyone.
everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Grace. See you
Good
again.
night.
Good night.
Good night.